Assalamu alaikum. My name is Vivek, and today I'm representing Salalah Sanitary Drainage Services, we also known as SSDC. So we are going to present some of our GIS capabilities. So in this presentation, we are going to cover those points. So currently, our GIS system is in development stage. We are in the implementation stage, and very soon by this year end, we will be closing this particular application, which will be go live. So in this particular application as SSDC, we are basically responsible for the wastewater drainage management system for Salalah city. So our system is called as collection and conveyance system. So what are the wastewater, which is coming from households or from different places, it comes to our water reclamation plant. From water reclamation plant, it gets processed and then it is again rediverted to industries for some other purpose. Sometimes it goes to agriculture, and some remaining water goes to recharge wells. So this is the entire system is called as collection and conveyance system. So this particular system is part of our GIS. So in my coming slides, I will be presenting you how we are implementing this system in our GIS. So with the objective of preparing a single standalone application, which is nothing but a enterprise application, which will be used by the in-house team members of our SSDC staff, which is basically to prepare a standard applications, which will be used for our day-to-day activities to manage the sewer network. So with this particular objective, we are planning. This is our SSDC GIS major components. So we started using GIS in 2006. Then we migrated to the higher platform, that is ArcGIS, in 2010. And in 2017, we are migrating to enterprise GIS. So to migrate this enterprise GIS system, we have some very basic requirements. So because we have a lot of departments, for example, we have water reclamation plant, we have treated water influence team, we have operations and maintenance team, we have house connections. So every department is using AutoCAD drawings. So the limitation of AutoCAD drawing is like we have multiple versions of that particular drawing. So it becomes very difficult to have a single platform, and any updates are there, it becomes difficult for us to maintain that. To come out with this particular solution, we have a plan to have an enterprise GIS system. So in this particular application, we are using this ESRI platform, where we have ArcGIS desktop, we have server, ArcSD. For database, we are using Oracle, and for development, we are using Java API. On top of that, we have some advanced business requirements also. So for that, we are using Scalta to do our day-to-day particular activities. The major requirement or the key challenge for this particular project is to migrate the existing as-built drawings. So far, what we have received it from our consultants and contractors. So almost around more than 25 as-built drawings we have converted to GIS and bring them on a single GIS platform. So for this, we come out with a basic plan. So we have divided this particular project into three major components. The first one is called the design phase. So the second one is called the implementation phase, and the last one is called go live. So right now we are in the implementation phase. So during this design phase, we have covered up our basic requirements of procuring the hardware and software. So with the help of the system analyst from the client side, we have prepared a very detailed system design architecture, and on top of that, we have procured the required softwares. Then at the same time, when we were doing the system requirement gatherings, we conducted various workshops with our various departments to understand their GIS requirements, to understand what they are doing right now. So based on that, we prepared a very standard GIS data model, so which becomes a Bible for us. And on top of that, now we have started preparing all the as-built drawings on our data set. So in the implementation phase, which is a very time-consuming task, is converting the as-built drawings to GIS. So during this particular activity, the as-built drawings which we have converted, it has been analyzed, and we have identified the gaps. So those gaps has been reviewed with our operation and maintenance team and various departments, and we have collected that particular remaining drawings, and we have conducted a field survey, and from that we have collected the remaining attribute information, and that has been executed in our QA/QC, and now we are in the stage of data acceptance. So very soon we will be closing that. So moving ahead with this implementation phase, in go live, during that we will have some additional workflows to address some of our business requirements, and it will be integrated with our existing CRM and Oracle EM system. So this is one example. This is what I was talking about, a collection and conveyance system. So we have defined our GIS, our entire system in GIS into those three major components. That is called sewer, then TSE, nothing but treated sewer influence, and WRP, where the water is processed. So those are our three major components. On top of that, we have some land-based data, and we are using the satellite data. So this is one example where we have converted all the as-built drawings, and now it is available on our web server, which is in testing phase. So where we get a lot of information. So this is some, we have some information related to a sewer network, which is telling some of information, the type of material, the upstream invert and downstream invert information on the fly. Then this is our TSE network. This is a TSE pumping station. So this is, the arrows are showing the flow direction, which is coming to a plant, getting processed, and again diverting it back to the next stage. So this is our WRP. So it is located in Raisud. So in WRP, the arrows are showing the flow direction. Once the water is entered to WRP from different various processing plants, the water will flow and it will get processed, and the final output will go as a TSE network. So, and then on top of that, we have developed our land base. So basically for this land base, we have taken some as-built drawings from different organizations. For example, we have some information for water network, some information for Omantel, Oredo. We have our own fiber optic network. Then we have some plots and the modules, which we are frequently using. So this is our interface. This is our web application where we have developed some of the tools. So we have some very basic information, like we can do the Navy zoom in, zoom out, and some basic tools. So those tools are nothing but, like, we have some base map where we are using the SRI online services, through which we can change the interface. Sometimes you want the satellite imagery to be changed to terrain or some grayscale, so we can change it on the fly. Then we have Legend, which will tell us the layer components, what are they, what they are representing. Then we have layers, where we can do switch on, switch off the layers anytime you want, especially whenever you want to do some analysis. Then we have bookmarks. So in case somebody who wants to create an extent or he wants to make some notes on it, so he can create on the fly some bookmarks. Then we have measurement tools, where a user, especially for the customer services department, a user, he wants to do some area calculation, the length, he can do it on the fly. Then we have we can add some CAD files, especially when we are getting the data from consultant contractor and we want to review it on the application, we can do that. Then we have projection, where we can enter the coordinates of any location and it will pop up on our map. Then we have, this is a very unique tool called redlining. Basically, this particular tool is nothing but drawing tools. Like we have arrows, we have point, line, multi-point, especially when we are in the output format, where we now want to add some information. So you can use that red line to present something. Then we can print maps into different options. Then we have query builder, which we are using it in ArcMap in the same way. And then we have developed another application tool that is called land-based locator, where user will enter some of the basic information and it will pop up the information from map. And for the managerial level, we have prepared some reports. So this is one example where redlining, what I was talking about, that whatever the data we have, somebody wants to map or he wants to project something on the map, he can just draw the line and put some comments. So it will be comment, once he enters that particular comment, he can simply save it. So especially the GIS team or anyone who wants to review that data, he can go back and do the necessary changes. So this is a very unique tool called land locator. So where user can go to that particular, he can select the area. After selecting the area, we have options of selecting block, maybe A, B, C, whatever is available from the land base, and then he can simply enter the plot number. Once you enter, the map will directly zoom into that particular area. So this is a very basic and very useful tool for our customer services.
5 minutes.
Yeah, sir. And this is the next tool, which is especially dealing with our reports. So during our requirement gatherings, we understand the type of reports what we want, And on top of that, based on that, we have defined those 7-8 different tools which will give us the reports. So this is one example. Somebody we want to understand some asset which is installed in some area, so the user can directly go to the link, he can select the area, he can select the block, and he can simply apply. So whatever the reports are, whatever the records are available, so it will be pop up. So the report can be easily exported to other formats. So this is one report information. Apart from this, like we have prepared GIS and everything, but our day-to-day activities are further more enhanced way. So we have come out with one application called as Sewer Network Clearance application. As we know that in SSDC we have every day we have requests coming for new house connection, that is residential, commercial, somebody wants to relocate the network, somebody wants to connect to our TSC network, or we have to do raising and reducing manholes. So those kind of activities are also part of our GIS activities. To address those particular applications, we have come out with a SCADA-based application to understand the status of any of these particular activities. So this is one. This application is in development stage. Very soon we will be getting the actual application where we will be doing the testing with the real scenarios. So this is just a flow direction where a user can come, a customer will come, he will submit his application, add customer services, he will take these records, he will generate application, and it will send it to the engineering team. So engineering team will refer to the GIS application, and there in case he wants to generate a route, so using the redlining tool, what we just discussed, he can draw some routes and he will submit it to the client, to reception, and then it will be going to the with the user. Then he will apply for all the whatever the required approvals are there. He will take it and it will. So this is a general workflow, which is how like we have the multiple departments which will involve in this particular whole activity and get it processed. So this is one example for residential. In the same way, we have some other activities. The same way, only the workflow is little different, where the contractor has to give some approvals and the user has to pay the fees. So this is one example for commercial plots. Then for network relocation, where we have the involvement from our projects and planning division. So they will tell us that whether to give approval or not. So based on that, he can give their results. He can take a decision. For TSC connection, we have TSC department. So they, based on their information, this is the workflow. This is how the TSC connection will come out with that. And this is for raising and reducing manhole. And this is our testing phase, where we have recently integrated our GIS maps, GIS web service, which has been consumed in GIS, and this particular service has been consumed in EM application. So till date, our EM was just nothing but just a tabular information. Now a user from EM system, he has fired some queries, he has selected some information. So in EM system, the user is able to identify some of the basic information which is coming from GIS. So the user has entered, so he can get the serial number for the manhole, the coordinates. So on the fly, he can generate the work order or any other activities. So this kind of testing is also, we are doing it, and very soon we will be closing that. So this is how we are approaching our GIS activities, and hopefully we will be able to close all those requirements very soon. Thank you.